Well, hey everybody, this is Kevin Snyder, and I hope that you and your families are doing well and staying safe during some of these tough times. So for the past couple of weeks, I've had a lot of organizations reach out to me about tips for finishing 2020 strong and also helping them plant seeds for 2021 and really kick off the new year with a fresh start. I think we all need that. So I want to share a story with you real quick about how to do that. And I'm going to share with you two ways, really two questions to ask yourself and maybe ask others in your family and also those that you work with. Two questions that will help you finish 2020 strong and also spark new opportunity for 2021 and beyond. Are you ready? So here's a picture of our front yard. My wife and I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I work very hard on my yard. Now for me, grass is actually fairly symbolic. You see, as a teenager, I had a neighborhood lawn business that would help pay for my college education. So in a way, I look at it as I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for people that had nice yards. My wife and I went away to the beach just for a couple days of a break. We were socially distancing, and we came back to our yard looking like this. I was devastated, I was frustrated, I was angry, I was confused. I mean, imagine your entire front yard just dying. And if you don't have a front yard, maybe you live in a townhome or maybe you have an apartment, just imagine all the grass looking like you're on the planet Mars. Again, I was livid and I did not understand what had happened. So here where I live in North Carolina, you can't just plant new seed and grow new grass in the middle of the summer. It's way too hot. That grass will die. So what you have to do is be patient and then wait for the fall to come, which then you will aerate your yard. Now folks, what an aerator does is it spikes the ground and pulls out plugs of soil. And those holes inside the ground allow for the fertilizer and the new seed to grow. In fact, I aerated our front yard so hard, I broke the chain and broke the wheel. And I'm glad I purchased damage protection from the Home Depot. Then I planted seed. On top of that, I planted a little bit of hay, as you can see here. And then I watered daily for 2 weeks. And I nurtured that soil. It took a considerable amount of time, but I had a vision in mind of knowing that the grass needed that attention in order to grow. And a little over a week went by, and wouldn't you know it, new grass started to grow. So our yard went from looking like this to looking like this just a few weeks later. Now some of you might be wondering, what the heck does a yard have to do with finishing 2020 strong? Well friends, it's simply a metaphor. I mean, think about it. How many of you have felt like this has been your life in 2020? I have at times. In fact, from March to June, it was a really, really tough, challenging time for me as a speaker where most of my events were either canceled or at least postponed. So it's been a tough year for me to deal with that reality and then to think about how do I reinvent? How do I plant new seeds for 2021 and beyond? So how we finish 2020 strong, folks, there's two real things. I'm going to share those with you right now. No matter if this is the way that you felt, or maybe it's the way that you feel right now, today's a new day. So is tomorrow and the day after. Because the reality is this: change is inevitable. Growth is optional. In fact, let me repeat that one more time and say it with me if you want. Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. Maybe we're not in the most ideal of circumstances, but we still can make a choice to grow. And then we work backward from that to figure out how we do that. And here are two questions I want to ask you or position to you that you can reflect on them yourself, but also share with those that are important to you and those on your team at work as well. Number one, what seed do you need to plant right now? What seed do you need to plant? Because to change your fruit, you got to work on that root. Number two, what do you need to pull out? Just like an aerator, those spikes go into the ground, it pulls out those plugs of soil so that the new seed has the room to plant. All of us are probably doing things this year as we were trying to figure out how to work and how to reinvent. We're going to be different next year. We can't be doing the same thing in 2021 that we're doing right now. So ask yourself, what is it I need to pull out, to maybe stop doing so that you have room to grow, room to reinvent. So give yourself permission to reflect. Give yourself permission to take a few moments, especially with the upcoming holidays, to reflect on what you've learned from this year, how this year has made you better, maybe even push you to grow in ways that you didn't expect. It certainly has for me with a virtual studio here and many other things in my speaking and in my personal life. And I'm confident that if you do reflect and answer those two questions, what seed do you need to plant and what do you need to pull out? You will position yourself not only to finish 2020 strong, but also to have new seed grow in 2021 and beyond that you didn't even expect. So I hope this insight can help inspire you and also remind you of what you already have inside. I wrote a book called Think Differently to Achieve Success that contains all sorts of principles like this and others. You can download a free copy on my website, kevincsnyder.com. And I look forward to hearing from you. Let me know if I can help you in any of your training or motivational needs for you or your organization. Take care. Thanks for watching.